Welcome to Fwamp Sports. My name is Richard Harris with this sports update. A few days ago, the New York Knicks fired their head coach, Derek Fisher. And you all know my affection of Derek Fisher for when he was a player and I was a club bouncer. He and I used to talk all the time when he would come to the clubs about their games, when they were winning championships, his epic shots, and our handshake that we'd have before big games. So this hurts because he's coaching my team. They're playing better basketball today than they did any time last season. But yet, the genius, Phil Jackson, feels that it's time to go. Even though before he was fired, the Knicks only had 2 games left before the All-Star break, which would have given him plenty of time, since they have 9 days between the next game after the All-Star break before they play again. And they could have had a good practice, or 5 or 6, to get themselves acclimated, to get themselves fixed, to get themselves to right their ship. I'm extremely puzzled that he chose Kurt Rambis, who has a horrible record as a head coach, who might know how to coach the triangle, but maybe the triangle is a bit outdated, considering that the top teams in the league right now are scoring in a prolific fashion just by simply playing street ball. Yes, Golden State and San Antonio are the epitome of team and play the epitome teamwork style basketball, but the fact remains, the Knicks have one guy who can shoot, one guy you don't know what you're going to get every night, one guy who shows flashes of brilliance, another guy who, is consistent but is just not good enough, and the rest of nobodies. Think about it. They got Carmelo, who's the star, but Carmelo's playing on bad legs. He gets no foul calls. You have Porzingis, who, at least once a week shows you flashes of brilliance. You got Galloway, who comes off the bench and gives you a spark, but he's just not good enough to carry a team. And it was sad last night that it was he who had a chance to tie the game to force overtime after he hit the 3 to tie the game to make it more competitive, and he missed a wide open 3, perfect form, right on line, just didn't bury it. You have a Flalo who's oft hurt, inconsistent shooter, great defender, just can't put the ball in the basket. And you got Derek Williams, who some weeks can look like a star forward, and then the next 6 months can't put the ball in the basket. It's hard to play in the NBA because there's no excuses. You're right there for everybody to see. And for me, Phil firing Derek Fisher at this time shows that either A, he's embarrassed by the off-the-court incident, B, that he's frustrated that his team keeps losing late games. But the bottom line is, you ask anybody who watches the Knicks play, they will tell you that they play hard, that they go after the loose balls, they try to box out, to take good shots, they run off screens hard, they play hard, they defend hard. The problem is they just don't have enough bodies to put the ball in the basket. Last night, he scored 112 points going into overtime, and Carmelo played great, 33 points, 12 rebounds. Porzingis had a 20-point game. But you need more than that to win in this NBA today. And the Knicks just don't have it. And firing a coach is not going to bring it. Now, we know the story that the Knicks and the Giants, don't make me talk about that, have so much money under the cap over these next few years that it should be a free agent destination. And all these rumors about Dwight Howard or Kevin Durant or whomever is great for the tabloids, but until things actually happen, no one should give a darn. The Knicks need to break away from this desire to play the triangle and play conventional basketball and see where it goes. And they need to utilize this all-star period of 8-9 days to improve on their offense, their efficiency, and to come up with a system that works. Carmelo is playing as hard as I've ever seen him play, but he can't jump over a phone book. He gets zero respect from the referees. I mean, between him, Wade, and LeBron, the big three of that class, Carmelo doesn't even come close to the amount of calls that they get. And granted, he doesn't drive to the rim often, and he's always going against bigger players, and so, people assume that they're going straight up. But he gets no love. Porzingis needs to figure out who he is, and he's obviously a rookie, so it's going to take time. And the question is, will the New York Knicks fan base be patient with him? But bringing in Rambis right now, it's just a figurehead move. You got Tom Thibodeau sitting out there. You got Luke Walton sitting out there, who's a Phil Jackson guy. You got Mark Jackson, an ex-Knick, who can help them. The bottom line is, something needs to be done to revive basketball in New York, because the NBA is a great place to be when the Knicks and the Lakers and the Celtics and all the other teams of the originals or the better teams that have the fan base are doing well. And so, just keep it going, and hopefully in the near future, and I mean near future, we could put together a team that represents what we want it to represent. But bringing in people who have baggage like Howard, they're not going to solve our problem. There's some players in this draft that can change a franchise, and hopefully one of them would land in New York. But that's just one man's opinion. I wish Kurt Rambis well, but the bottom line is the Knicks should set a goal. Make the playoffs now. See where we go. And I'm Richard Harris, and you've been educated.